Hello everyone. Guys, am I audible to everyone? Good evening, guys. Okay, great. Fine. I think we can wait for 2, 3 more minutes. Let the participants to join, and then we'll start with the session.
Good evening, Shivam.
Yeah, guys. Good evening, Lakshmi.
Sorry, Monday I couldn't attend the class as it was my brother's marriage.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I hope that the classes were cancelled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yesterday I got some family like emergency, so I need to travel to my hometown, and like right now also I'm taking the session from my hometown itself.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
we didn't get the Monday sessions recording.
That I think you can put it on I think group or something because that team maybe they're actually having the recording, but I don't have the access of any of my video and or anything.
Actually, in the group, we are not enabled to chat.
No, then you can directly chat to that person. Uh, Maybe you have contacted to someone before start taking that class, so you can directly ask to them.
Okay.
Yeah, because even I don't have the access of like recording and all. I just have the access of my session like materials because these are the things which I am created, so I have the access of all this.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about like recording, how they are doing, how like who is actually keeping and where they are keeping those things. I don't know about anything of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Vaishali is messaging that recording is available
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yes.
You can check. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's start with the session wherever we left on that day. So I just guys give you a brief of like what like a kind of a thing we are trying to discuss and what we have created so far. And even I remember that on Monday. Even you guys actually helped like a lot into this, especially Alicia and Nikhil, with the formula and like the other stuffs. So, guys, actually, what generally happened that earlier we try to let's say if there's such kind of a model where we need to perform, let's say, the customer segmentation. Okay, so I'm just giving you, I think this is all we discuss even on Monday, but I'm just giving you the brief of like what kind of a project we are developing right now. Okay, so it is actually about, guys, the customer segmentation, which is definitely a really important task, or you can say the really important concept in this modern scenario, in this I can say that today's world, because uh, definitely, guys, we all know that in today's like a competitive world, it is really important to uh, it is really important, guys, that you should know that what kind of things are actually going on into the market. Okay, then what your competitor is doing. Okay, so let's say today if I'm starting a new business, so I definitely need to like understand that, okay, how I can retain my customer, how I can give, let's say, different kind of offers to my customer. Okay, because let's say, guys, if I'm now thinking of starting a new e-commerce website, so there are so many like competitors, guys, into the market. So if I want to beat them, I need to be really I need to be really, guys, good in that technical advancement, or you can say that my technical approach should be much better and should be much advanced in comparison to like all my competitors. Okay, and you can see, guys, that although the so before like 2016 or before 20 you can say that before 2016 or 2018, maybe we just heard about maybe Flipkart, Amazon, Mintra, or maybe two or three more. But in nowadays, guys, I think in the last 4, 5, 6 years, you probably observe that there are so many e-commerce websites are actually there, and they're trying to focus, let's say, in one of the category and still making the profit in the market. Okay, now definitely, guys, it is possible because the kind of technology advancement like people are using into the market. So that's the same thing, guys, we are discussing over here, that how we can perform, let's say, something called as a customer segmentation. Okay, so customer segmentation means we can try to make a different groups of customer, we can try to make a different clusters of customer, so that, guys, because let's say earlier, if I talk about the earlier days, so what we are doing, we are trying to run a same like let's say the marketing or same like a kind of a ad we are trying to run on like let's say to all the customers, or to all the people who are actually involved or who are actually doing the shopping, or maybe purchasing any product from us. But nowadays, guys, the game are completely different. Nowadays, it is important to make a different groups of customer, it is important to make a different segments of customer, and then we try to let's say, guys, we try to do I can say that a priority kind of a marketing. Okay, so a different kind of a marketing, a different kind of a strategy, a different kind of a ad we try to run for let's say different customers. So even on that day, guys, I given you the example that, let's say, if I am very much like if I let's say like it's definitely everyone having a different kind of a choice, everyone having a different kind of a hobby, everyone having a different kind of a, let's say, the interest. So if my interest is actually more about buying a new shoes, okay, so that is what, guys, if I talk about like myself, okay, so I'm actually more fond of buying like a new shoes. Okay, now in that case, guys, what actually happened, whenever I open my like Instagram account, or whenever I open my like any social media like app, I'm getting like a recommendation of if there is any new offer on like any shoes, and from a different companies. Okay, and definitely, guys, the companies or the particular e-commerce website where I actually maybe done any kind of shopping earlier. Okay, so like Neiman's, Mintra. So from all these websites, I start getting the recommendation, and most of the time, guys, the recommendation is more about like a shoes only, 90% or 99% of the time, because they are able to like get this part that okay, this person is actually more often trying to buy a shoes rather than any other category, rather than any other like a product. Okay, so this kind of a marketing, guys, nowadays happening, and you even observe the same thing if you're buying, if you're doing online shopping. So, okay, now so now is if I need to help like my client as a data analyst, so what I need to do is I need to actually create this customer segmentation model. Now guys, on earlier days, what people are thinking that these kind of a customer segmentation task can only be done by any coding language or any machine learning or something, and for that people are using definitely the Python. And even nowadays also, guys, we are using Python to create that like customer segmentation kind of a model, but that can also be created, guys, with the help of Power BI. And there's something called as, guys, RFM analysis, which we can actually do inside the Power BI itself. Okay, so I think in the last session we're discussing about this thing, this particular term, what is RFM, and I told you guys that RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary. So for each customer, we are trying to understand that how recently the customer buys something. Then we try to even understand that how frequently customer is trying to order or buy something. And then we also try to check the monetary value of their purchase. Okay, so if the customer orders something, then what is the monetary value? So on that basis, guys, we try to divide the customer, we try to make a different let's say the segment or the group. So we may find out, guys, that a group of, let's say, the premium customer, a group of maybe let's say the VIP customer. And for those VIP customer, guys, definitely the offer, the discount, or let's say anything, guys, if I try to make any offer or anything for that customer, so that will be completely different, guys, whatever we are making for maybe the other groups. Okay, so there will be a group of VIP customer, there will be a group of loyal customer, there will be a group of, guys, a customer who are at risk. Okay, means let's say any customer, guys, who didn't buy anything from the last maybe 3 or 4 months. Okay, so who are at risk. Then there's a customer, guys, who already lost. So we try to make, guys, 4 or 5 different groups over here based on this particular knowledge called RFM analysis. And then guys, definitely different strategies or different plans can be made for a different groups. Okay, so definitely, guys, if there are, let's say, if you have a 1 million customer, you're running your own like a shop, and you have 1 million customer. So for that 1 million customer, guys, it's not possible if you try to make a single strategy for all that 1 million customer. Yeah, definitely, guys, you're not able to compete, or you're not able to stay for a longer period of time in this competitive world or in this competitive market. Okay, you definitely need to think in a different way for a different set of groups or for a different set of customers. Okay, so for that, guys, we are actually discussing about something called as recency, frequency, and monetary. These are the formulas, guys, I think which we have discussed on in our last session. So in recency, guys, we try to find out the last purchase rate of a customer. And what we are trying to do, we're trying to actually take that recency value in terms of number of days. Means let's say if any customer buys something on 3rd of May and today is 20th May. Okay, it means, guys, that the customer has buy something 17 days back. Okay, so that 17 is going to be the recency value over here, like we are getting 17 over here. Okay, so recency is nothing but over here we are trying to calculate the difference. So you can see that the function is date difference. We are calculating the difference between the last purchase date and a today date. Okay, then into the frequency, guys, we are trying to calculate how frequently the customer are actually generating the order. So it is possible that like one customer, so we are trying to check, guys, with respect to the customer ID for all a different customer ID. Now it is definitely possible, guys, that the customer ID is repeated over here, because the customer, a single customer can make, let's say, any number of orders. Okay, so we are trying to check that let's say any customer, if I talk about, let's say, the customer ID with 1975. So I can try to observe, guys, that 1 minute, guys. So now, guys, you can see that we are calculating the frequency over here, which means that we are trying to calculate for each and every customer, for each and for each and every customer, we are trying to calculate that how many orders that like customer has made. Okay, so like the customer 1975 with the customer ID, he made around 12 orders, and there's another customer made like 9 orders, 11 orders, and so on. Okay. Then, guys, we have calculated the last thing, which is the monetary value, and for that, guys, we have taken the sum of the total sales, which simply means that how much like a total sales, or what amount, what, let's say, the transaction amount, or the total amount which the customer has actually spent for taking, let's say, any number of products from your website. Okay. So in this particular, on this particular basis, guys, we'll try to figure out our premium customers or the VIP customer. Let's say if the customer is making like on a monetary scale, guys, if the customer is making a use order and giving me like with the respect to the total sale, guys, if the total sales are too high, it means, guys, that the customer is a like a VIP customer or the premium customer. Similarly, guys, if the frequency is high, then I can actually tag them as a loyal customer. And similarly, guys, if this recency value is high, it means that the customer either a lost customer or maybe at risk. Okay. So this is what, guys, if you remember, we discussed about this, that over here, guys, based on these three values, because all three values, guys, need to we need to consider before making the groups. So I think, guys, we discuss about it, that for a good customer, the recency value should be low, whereas the other two values, the frequency and the monetary value, should be high. Okay, that is what, guys, we discuss over here. So let's say if I am saying that let's say if the monetary value is high, then I can actually tag that customer as a VIP customer or the premium customer. If this value high, so I will tag them as a loyal customer, or yeah, maybe a loyal customer. And if the recency is let's say high, then I can say that the customer is actually at risk, or the customer may lost. Okay. Now, definitely, guys, for a good set of customer, let's say if I just try to make two bigger segments. So in two bigger segment, guys, so my first segment, if it is a segment of good customer, I should say that the recency value should be low, but the other two values should be high, like frequency and the monetary will be high. Whereas, guys, if I talk about the bad customer segment, so in bad customer segment, the recency value will be high, whereas the other two values should be will be low. Okay. So that's the same thing, guys. I'm going to calculate it over here. So what I have done, you can see that I've created a group over here for recency score. It means, guys, that if the recency, so now, guys, if you remember, I told you that if in the recency score, if you're making it in the reverse order, means if you're making it in from top, like from bigger value to the smaller value, then for frequency and monetary, it should be opposite. Okay. So like over here, guys, we have taken that like recency, if it is less than equals to 30, I actually try to tag it as 5. Okay, because definitely, guys, with respect to the original number, it is a bit difficult for us to make the segment. Okay. So I actually make 5 different segments over here: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where 5 means, guys, if the recency value is 5, let's say, means it means, guys, that the customer is actually good. If it is let's say 1, it means, guys, the customer is maybe lost, or the customer is at the risk. Okay. Now, similarly, guys, in a similar way, we are going to make we need to make the condition or the group for the frequency score, and in a similar way, guys, we need to create it for the monetary score. Okay. So let's do it, guys. Now, in the frequency and monetary, guys, this sequence should be opposite. So let's do it. And, guys, I hope that every one of you like created till here. Okay. So just four new columns, guys, we have added. So I hope that you have added it. And if not, like someone joined today itself, so I can share all those four formulas, guys, with you. And then you can start creating along with me. So we have this frequency score over here, just like the recency score. Now in the frequency score, guys, this will go in a opposite order. So again, I will use this switch method. I will use this function called true, and then we'll try to create it. Okay, so again, guys, it depends that what is the name of your column, its frequency itself. Now, guys, if the frequency is greater than or equals to 20, I will tag it as let's say 5. Okay, because it will go in opposite order. Now, okay, should we shift enter? The formula is not yet completed. Yeah. Now the next one, guys, I can try to take it again the frequency value. If it is greater than or equals to, let's say 15, I can take it 4. Then again, frequency value. Now this time, if it is greater than or equals to 10, I will take it as 3. Now again, this time I can tweak the frequency. If it is greater than equals to 5, I will take it as 2. Otherwise, I will take it as 1. Okay. Now you can see, guys, that over here, if I talk about this formula, okay, so over here, guys, you can see that I have taken this in opposite order. Means if the frequency is let's say higher, then means like if it is higher, guys, let's say if the customer is actually doing a regular shopping now, or regular making a regular order, now in that case, guys, the frequency value will be high. uh, and if the customer is not making a regular order, or if the customer is making less order, let's say in a month or anything, now in that case, guys, the frequency will be low. So if it is, let's say, less than 5, then the value will be 1. With 5 it will be 2, with 10 it will be 3, with 15 it will be 4, and with 20 or more than 20 it will be 5. Okay. Now, in a similar way, guys, what we can do, we can try to create the segment for the monetary score. Okay. Now, in a monetary score also, guys, you can first check that what can be the minimum or the maximum monetary score. So the minimum value is actually too low. The maximum value, guys, is actually going to through the. Uh, okay, one second. Where is that? Okay, it is going through, guys, even more than 3 lakh. Okay, so over here, guys, we can try to create a new column. And again, guys, the monetary value for the monetary also, guys, when you try to make a segment, so it will actually go in a same order, just like we try to create it for the frequency. Okay, so now there's a monetary score I can write. Now over here, guys, we can again use a switch function. You can make this expression as true. Now over here, guys, again, we can check the monetary value. And now we'll see that if the monetary value is, let's say, greater than or equals to 30,000, I will check it as 5. And now, guys, in a similar way, it will go like a down one by one. Okay, so again, if the monetary value is greater than equals to 20,000 this time, I will tag it as, let's say, 4. Then next time, guys, I can see that if the value is let's say 1,000, I will take it as 3. Again, next we can try to take if the value is let's say less than or equals to 5,000, I can take it as 2. Otherwise 1, and close the bracket. So yeah, guys, again, you can see that the monetary value also goes in a similar order. Now you can see guys, that let's say again, now since you have created this like a group, so based on the monetary score, frequency score and the recency score, guys, now let's say that if I just want to make two groups, and if I ask you this question that for a good customer, guys, what should be the monetary value and what should be the frequency value? So you can see guys that for a good customer, guys, the monetary value should be high, means the monetary score should be either 4 or either 5. Similarly, guys, the frequency score should also be either 4 or either 5. Whereas, guys, the recency score should be low. It should be 1 or 2. Okay, so let's say, guys, let me just create it and then see the like a difference over here. So once again, guys, let me try to analyze the difference over here. So for a good customer, guys, what we'll say that the monetary score should be high. It should be either 4 or 5. Similarly, guys, the frequency value should also be high, means the frequency score should also be high. It should be either 4 or 5. Whereas, guys, the recency score should be low. Uh, it should be either okay, I
4 or
think
5 only, no?
I made it.
That should also be 4 or 5 only, no? For reasons score, as here in which case we have reordered it.
Once again, then I think we need to change it into the, so 4 or 5 we have over here, but this is, I think we have make it for less than. That is probably the difference. Let me just try to check it, guys, 1 second. No, it is fine that according to this, this should also be like 4 and 5 only. And then the other one, it will be a smaller value. Uh, but then if I try to make the segment over there, we need to think of it that if all the scores are actually greater or lower. 1 second, guys, let me just check it once. I think over here we need to then change the condition. Mm. Then, guys, it will be matches with the same one, na? Recency is we have taken less than or equals to 30. So less than or equals to 30, it is actually good. Uh, 1 second, guys, just let me just check it once. Uh, no, no, guys, I think then okay, in this case also it is let's say greater than equals to 5. Let's see, guys, if I try to make let's try to make a segment over here, then in that segment we can try to make that same changes. Okay, so okay, I think guys, according to this condition, okay, guys, it is fine because if I change let's say the, so over here, guys, we change the condition, or I think because in the other two, guys, we have taken like in the frequency score and in the monetary score. I think it is correct, guys, because in the frequency and the monetary score we have taken that logic as greater than, whereas in the recency score we have taken that logic as like a smaller than. Okay, so now in the segmentation, guys, it actually help us because in the segmentation, guys, what I can say, let's say for a good customer, I can say that if all the three values are actually greater than 4 or 5, I can actually tag them as a good customer or VIP customer or loyal customer, whatever it is. And if the score is less, means if all these three scores are actually less, like one, two, or one or two, then I can simply call them as a bad customer, or let's say the lost customer, whatever it is. Okay. So I think for that segmentation point of view, guys, it is actually perfect. Okay. Because that condition we change over here. Okay. So instead of like taking like greater than, we have taken less than over here, and the other two it is greater than. So let's try to make the final segment, and then we'll try to understand that how much segment we can try to create over here. So definitely, guys, in a real world scenario, there should not be just two segment. Okay, so two segment I'm trying to tell you only to make you understand the logic over here, that okay, what value should be low and what value should be high. Okay, but in a real world scenario, guys, there should be more segment, because it is, I give you the example, guys, that it is possible that any customer, the customer can be the loyal one, or the frequency of that customer is very high, means in a month the customer is actually making, let's say, 5 order, or let's say making 10 or 15 orders. But on a monetary scale, on the term of like a monetary, it is actually low. Okay, so let's say the customer is more fond of buying, let's say, the t-shirts, or maybe a very like the items which is not like that much costly. Okay, so let's say books, or maybe t-shirts, or maybe like jeans or something like that. Now in that case, guys, even if the customer making 10 orders in a month, so with that 10 orders, let's say the total monetary value, or the total sales which that customer is actually giving to the to the company is maybe let's assume that 10,000. Okay, 10,000 is, let's say, the highest amount I'm assuming. Then there's another customer who is not making, let's say, 10 orders in a month, but he make just 3 orders in a month. But he trying to order, let's say, the items which are like bit expensive. Okay, so let's say the electronic items. Okay, so let's say he trying to order the speaker, and then let's say the earphone, and then let's say the mobile phones. Okay, now in that case, guys, even with just 3 orders, that other customer is probably giving a sell of around 25,000 or 30,000. Okay, so the first customer, guys, even the first customer, I can say that even he is a loyal one, but his spending score is actually low. Okay, so in terms of monetary value, it is quite low. Whereas, guys, for the second customer, guys, he may not, I may not able to consider him as a loyal customer, or let's say the more frequent customer. But on a monetary term, guys, that customer is good. Okay, so both customers are actually good. Okay, so let's say if I try to make just two segment, good and bad, so both customers are actually good for like me. Both customers are good for a good like for my organization, for my company, but in a different way. Not and so definitely, guys, if I want to give some kind of a discount or offers, so there will be a different discount, or the offer should be given to both of them. A similar discount, or similar offers, or similar marketing strategies will not work for both customers. Okay, ultimately, guys, if I just make one larger group, so both the customer will belong to the same good customer group, but still, guys, there should be a different offer, and like a discount for both the groups. Okay, so let's see, guys, that how let's try to create the segment over here. So we'll try to make a segment as let's say the customer segment over here. Now in this customer segment, guys, let's see that what we can do. Again, there will be a switch statement we can try to use. We can make it like it's true, take a comma. Now over here, guys, I can try to calculate all the three scores. Then the first thing I can try to calculate the recency score. Now if this recency score is greater than equals to 4, then we have to check, and then we have to check the frequency score. Now if this frequency score is greater than equals to 4 again, so I will make, guys, one group over here, and I will actually call this group as then there's a monetary score, and let's say if it is also greater than equals to 4. Now, guys, if all the three values are actually greater than 4, now we already observe, guys, that for a good customer, for a really, really good customer, all these three scores should be greater, should be 4 or 5. Okay. So now we are doing the same thing, guys. Let's say for any customer, if all these three score is actually greater than or equals to 4, means either 4 or 5, I can actually call that customer as a champion customer, or maybe the VIP customer, or maybe I can say that a premium customer. Okay, so whatever the tag, whatever the label you want to give them, you can actually give them that label. Okay, because these customer, guys, I can actually say that these customers are actually good in all the three perspective. Okay, so they try to make a regular order, that's why their recency score is good. That's so even in the last like a month itself, they make some order. So their recency time in terms of number of days is not greater than 30. The frequency score is good. It means that in a month they are making either 20 or more than 20 orders. And their monetary score is also very good. They are making let's say more than more than or equals to 30,000 in a month only. Okay, so that's definitely, guys, I can tag them as a premium customers, or let's say the premium group. Okay, so whatever you want to say, now I can track them as a premium customers. And this is, guys, our one condition. Now we'll move on to the second condition. Now into the second condition, guys, so this is one group, this is one segment. Now definitely, guys, the discount, the offer, the strategy, the marketing, the ad campaign, everything, guys, will be different for these premium like a group. Okay, now, guys, let's try to make another group where we try to focus on to the let's say um, let's say the loyal customers. Okay, so loyal customer means who are actually good in frequency. Okay, now, guys, if I talk about the loyal customer, now in that case, guys, what I need to check, I need to check the frequency score. It should be definitely greater than or equals to 4. And the second thing, guys, like even for a loyal customer, their monetary score can be a bit lower. Okay, but I think, guys, the first group I have made, it is of 30,000, then 20,000, and the third group, guys, I made of let's say I can say that 20,000. Okay, so sorry, 10,000, sorry. So for a loyal customer, guys, we can even try to check for their based on the loyalty also. And then we also try to consider a bit of monetary score. So I can try to take the monetary score over here. Definitely, guys, recency score doesn't need to check over here, because we are assuming that it is good. It should never because if the frequency score is greater than 4, then we are not assuming that definitely the recency is let's say very like a very high. Okay, sorry, very low. So if the monetary score is, let's say, so even, guys, if the monetary score is bit lower, we can consider them. So I can take it as 3, and I can actually call them as our loyal customers. Okay, so let's say the loyal customers. Now, guys, there will be another group we have to create. Now, the next group, guys, we can try to focus only on those customers who are actually the big spenders, okay, or who actually, in terms of monetary value, guys, they are really good. Okay, so I can try to simply focus on that customer. Now, in that case, guys, what we can do, we can try to check the monetary value over here. So now, guys, definitely the monetary value should be greater than or equals to 4. Okay. And guys, one more thing is important over here, because you might observe that there may be maybe just rare one or two customer, or maybe just two or three customer. It is possible, guys, that let's say, guys, let me tell you one condition. Okay, because this is what condition, guys, even I observed in this data set, and even in so many real world data set, because I often work on this customer segmentation task like so many times. So let me tell you, guys, one very critical condition which I come across when I'm trying to create this customer segmentation model. That is, guys, that there's a customer who has like taken something, or who has ordered something, and let's say, guys, I have a data for just 1 year. Okay, now let's say on 20th May or 2025. I'm talking about 1 year back. So let's say on 20th May 2025, a new customer arrive, and that customer make an order of, let's say, 80,000. Now, in terms of monetary value, guys, it is too high. Okay, it is possible that even in a year, even in a year, guys, even if any customer make 30 order, then also it is not necessary that with that 30 orders also the customer is able to make the sell of like 80,000. Okay, so let's say there's a customer who make the order for the very first time on 20th May 2025, and he may make a order of, let's say, 80,000. Let's say he buy a laptop. Now, by any reason, let's say he didn't get a laptop in a proper condition, or let's say he got any issue with that, like a particular order. So after that day, means after that 20th May 2025, that customer never trying to make an order again. Okay, let's say whatever the issue happened with that particular customer, uh, because of any XYZ reason, the customer never return back and make any other order. Now, let's say, guys, if I try to consider only this condition where the monetary score is greater than equals to 4. Now, in this condition, guys, even that customer will also be a part of this segment, who make an order just for one time in that like a 1 year of span or 1 year of a time. Okay. Now, definitely, guys, it doesn't matter if I have a data of just 1,000 customer, or if I have a data of just 10,000 customer, or so on, but it matters, guys, when we have a data of, let's say, millions of customers. And in millions of customer, the condition which I'm telling you right now, for this condition, guys, uh, there may be, let's say, 1,000 or there may be 2,000 customer having a similar kind of condition, or like, let's say, falling in a similar kind of a scenario. Now, definitely, guys, those 20,000, or let's say those on those 5,000 or 1,000, I don't want to spend my ad money on those like a customer, because definitely, guys, those customers are actually lost. Now, they will not like come back again. Doesn't matter how many like offers, or how many discounts, how many let's say things you are going to provide, or how many promises you are going to make. They are not going to come back at all. If they're not ordered anything from that last 1 year, or this condition, guys, can be let's say last maybe 2 years also. Okay, now in that case, guys, we also need to check the recency score. Over here, guys, the frequency score doesn't matter, but for the big spenders, along with the let's say the monetary score, I can also try to check the recency score over here. So what I can assume that the recency score should be greater than or equals to at least 2. Okay, at least 2. When I'm taking at least 2, guys, it means that the customer, let's say, make any order in the last 6 months. Okay, so last 6 months it is fine, because let's say if any customer make the order of a laptop, and then he can actually make an order of, let's say, after certain days. Okay, or even I can take it as 3. Okay, now these customer, I can actually call them as a big spenders. Okay, so I'm not calling them as a loyal customer, because I am not checking their frequency score. So the frequency score can be low, but even though their frequency score is low, but their monetary score, since their monetary score is high, so we are calling them as a big spenders. Okay, now this is the third group, guys, we have created. Now, now, guys, I want to create the next group over here, and the next group is again, guys, going to be going around to toward the loyal customer. Now, over here, guys, over here we try to actually check in the loyalty thing around the frequency score and the monetary score. Okay, but one thing, guys, we missed it over here, that the recency score, because in a loyalty, even the monetary may not be play a very important role, but the recency score, guys, play an important role over there. Okay, so what we can do, I can try to create let's say the another group where I can try to um, check the recency score, and I will check, guys, that the recency score is probably greater than equals to 4, and the frequency score is also, let's say, greater than or equals to 3. I will actually consider them as a, let's say, premium, let's say, loyalist. Okay. So this is one more group we can try to create. Now, guys, these four groups which I have created, I think one, two, three, four. Okay. Now all these actually, guys, ultimately, if I just trying to consider them into one big tree, so I will consider them as a, let's say, good customer. Okay. So let's say one customer is giving me a good monetary score. The another customer is giving me the good recency score. The another customer is giving me good frequency score. So ultimately, guys, this like four groups which we have created right now, these are the, let's say, a good customer. Now, guys, let's talk about the other side of the picture. Okay, let's talk about the other side of the coin. Now, in that case, guys, we can actually talk about those customers who are actually at risk and the customer who are actually lost. Okay. Now, guys, how we can actually how we can actually check that the customer is like at risk? Anyone who can help me with this condition? How we can check the, how we can create that condition where I can see that the customer is at risk? Yeah, guys.
Lesser recency score and frequency score.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so lesser recency score, you can say that. So I think we can try to take it like this. Let's say the recency score we can try to talk about. And let's say if the recency score is less than equals to 2, it means that the customer doesn't make any order from the last 6 months. And the same, guys, goes with the frequency score over here. So we can say that if the frequency score is also let's say less than or equals to 3, okay, means making okay, or even guys frequency score, we need to more focus on to the recency score actually, because let's say even guys the frequency score is higher, so it means that let's say when the customer is buying something, okay, so let's say I'm actually doing a regular shopping, let's say from any website, but maybe because of any reason, because of my one maybe bad experience, I stop shopping from that particular website. Okay, so over there, guys, it is not necessary that your frequency score is low. Your frequency score when you are shopping, okay, at that time, the frequency score could be high. But maybe your two or three bad experience because of, let's say, two or three bad experiences, stop like shopping from there. Okay, so that can be one reason. So frequency score not necessary to be lesser than like a 3. It can be even it is possible that you are a good customer, and that's why, guys, the company will make effort. So if you are a good customer, then only the company will try to make a effort that to bring you back. Okay, or I can say that to retain you. Okay, so yeah, the recency score, let's say less than equals to 2, it means that you didn't buy anything from the last 6 months. And when you are buying, or when you are a regular customer, when you are a customer, when you are a customer like of that particular website, you are a regular customer. Okay, so definitely that company trying to retain you, because you are a loyal, or let's say the premium like a customer of your time. I can write it as at risk. Okay. So in at risk, guys, we need to focus more on to the recency score. Now, going forward, the last one, guys, we can try to create, that is a group of the customer who are actually lost. It doesn't make any sense to put an effort to retain these customers. Now, let's say, guys, if I talk about the first four customers, so the first four groups which we have created, that is for the purpose that we can try to we can try to make a different strategies or different like offers a different discount for those four groups. For this group, guys, now the company will try to make some strategy to retain these customers, because they are actually at risk. They're not lost, they are at risk. But there's another group, guys, who are actually lost. Now when the customer is lost means, let's say the customer didn't buy anything from the last 1 year, the customer is actually lost. Now there's no matter, guys, of putting any effort or doing any marketing for that customer. We can try to delete the record of that customer from our database, so that we don't need to spend money on, because when we are trying to run the ad, or when we are trying to do the marketing, you are putting some money on to for that. Okay, so you don't need to do the marketing, or put a money to any expenditure onto the ad, because like the customers are already lost. Okay, so over here I can try to calculate. I can see the recency score. If it is equals to 1, okay, means the customer didn't buy anything from the last 6 months. Okay, and we are not checking as less than equals to. I'm just checking if it is score is 1. You can also consider, guys, something else also. Let's say you can also consider the frequency score, but I don't think that it matter over here. Or maybe I can, if I'm not trying to put an effort, it means that even the customer, when the customer is actually buying, so he or she are not giving me a lot of profit. Okay, so because guys, let's say if the customer, even if the customer is lost, but like at that time the customer was a premium customer, so still there's a chance that we can try to put an effort and trying to bring that customer back. Okay, but let's say the recency score is 1 and even the frequency score is less than equals to 2. It means that even the customer is not a very good customer for us in the past also. So no need to put let's say the effort to bring the customer back. Okay, now I can try to tag them as a lost customers, and that's all. Now guys, let's say, I think guys, I have taken all the condition, but still it is possible that you might miss any condition. So if there is any like a customer who are falling out of these like 6 condition, then what will happen? So in that case, guys, let's say if I'm not writing anything over here, then it will be a blank cell. We don't want to have a blank cell over there, so I can try to take it as others. Okay, now guys, I can try to, let's say, ah, I can try to close the bracket, so it will give me the error. So we have to close the bracket and our conditions are done. Okay, so let me close the bracket over here. Actually, yeah, I think I have done it. So you can see, guys, that at the bottom, if you try to look at the okay, let me take it up. So you can see, guys, that at the bottom you can see that we have all the 6 categories and even the others also, guys. It means that maybe some customer belonging to this region also. So, and you can see, guys, that what is that case? Okay, so it is recency score is 2, frequency is 2, and monetary is 4. Okay, maybe I don't know how this customer is missed. But you can see, guys, that here we have all different customer, big spenders, at risk, premium customers, okay, loyal customers also, lost customer also, at risk customer also. I think one maybe condition is missing, which is premium. No, it is also there, premium loyalist. Okay, so yeah, guys, we got all the customers over here, and this is because of this segment which we have created. So in this way, guys, we are able to know that like we are able to make a different segment of, or you can say, guys, a different group of customer. And this is how, guys, in a real world scenario, in a real like if I talk about in reality, in a real world scenario, or in an e-commerce industry, this is how, guys, that industry actually work, that industry actually runs, because they are actually dependent on they're actually trying to make a strategy based on like a different groups, based on like a different like a categories. Okay, definitely, guys, the company is not trying to nowadays the company is not trying to run a single strategy or single like a kind of a campaign for all the customers, because definitely, guys, like it is important to know about the let's say the customer interest, and then go ahead in that session, go ahead in that way. Okay, otherwise it will definitely, guys, not going to help you out, or not able to, not actually help you to make let's say more like a profit into your business. Okay, is it clear, guys, to everyone? Yeah, guys. So I know, guys, this formula is a bit larger, although if you write it along with me, it is good. Or I'm also sharing, guys, in a chat box if you want to add it into your like columns. Yeah, guys, is it done for everyone? Okay, guys, done. Okay, guys. Now, guys, I think we can now try to like move on to the our report page, where we can try to show all these things which we have created into in form of a like a KPIs, in form of a like a KPI card, and even, guys, in form of second, guys. So definitely, guys, whatever we can try to create into the KPI cards, and then whatever we can create into the like a chart. So that is what, guys, we need to actually develop to share all these things which we have developed or we have calculated. To share all these things, guys, with the client, we need to bring these like things into the card, or let's say into the chart. Okay, now, guys, I think we have done like we have created some of the cards till now. Okay, like maybe I think the total revenue, then the total customers. Okay, then we also have, guys, let's say the total orders. Okay, how much total orders we have received so far. Then the average order value. This is also one thing, guys, we have. Now is over here, like whatever we have created so far. So from there, guys, we can also try to talk about something called as a, guys, repeat customers. Okay, like what is the percentage of, let's say, the repeat customers we have. Okay, that is what we can try to take, like the customer having more than, let's say, one order. And similarly, guys, we can try to create that purchase rate. So that actually, so let's say, guys, even if you're running any like a new organization, if you're running in startup, you always guys try to focus on this particular part, that how many repeat customers you have, or what is that repeat what is that repetition rate, okay, whether that repetition rate is actually higher or not. Okay, so that is this one particular like a KPI where every one of us guys, if I'm running any business, we're trying to focus on to that. Okay, so how much repeat customers we have. Okay, so this is one very important KPI which we need to share with our client, that what is our repeat purchase rate. Okay, so the rate of repeat customers. Okay, so let's say if I have total 2000 customers, and out of 2000 customers, if I have let's say 1500 repeat customers. Okay, it means guys that your if I talk about in terms of percentage, so I think it is around 75%. Okay, so if your like a repeat purchase rate or repeat customer rate is 75%, it seems to be a good. If it is greater than 70%, we always consider it as a good, or we always consider as you have very loyal customers. Okay, strong loyalty. Okay, then guys, second thing which we can try to calculate over here, again definitely guys, which is actually very needed in these kind of business scenario, is what we can call as a uh, let's say the customer I guess the retention rate is also something we can try to create it over here. We can try to actually calculate it over here to get more advanced like a scenario, or the more advanced like a KPI of our like a data, to understand that again how well my organization, or how well our like this particular organization is actually performing. Okay, so guys, let's try to create one by one. So first try to create guys the let's say repeat purchase rate, means repetition of customer. That repetition rate guys we have to create. That is the very first thing we have to create guys. So yeah guys, please try it out. First try to create the repeat purchase rate. Let's see that how we can do that. Let's try to create it. Everyone, try it out. It's completely fine, guys. If you make a mistake, but I guess that by this time you guys are very much familiar with the formula and the other things. And even in the last class, guys, like you guys even helped me to get those formulas corrected. So I hope, guys, that yeah, you guys can definitely at least try it out. Okay, so try to create the repeat purchase rate. Yeah, guys, please let me know once anyone like created this particular column. Yeah, guys, anyone? Okay, try it out, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, guys, anyone who has created this formula? Okay, anyone, guys, who can tell me just a simple logic or the idea behind it, that what should be the like a scenario if I want to calculate the numbers of repeated customers?
So if, for example, if frequency score is greater than 3, we have to count those customers and divide by total number of customers and
Like
find the
Lakshmi, it is
percentage.
not about let me tell you that, okay, even if the frequency score is even let's say even if it is greater than 1, okay, then also the customer is actually the repeated one, okay. So it is not about what is the frequency score, because frequency score we have actually calculated it over here as if it is greater than let's say frequency, if it is less than greater than 15 or 20, then we simply tag this as a 5. Okay, so even if the score is even if someone's frequency is even 2, then also the customer is a repeated like a customer. Okay, so over here we have to check that if I talk about, guys, the invoice ID. So I need to check that if that invoice ID is actually repeated, means if it is greater than 1, we simply tag that customer. So let's say for any customer ID, let's say my customer ID is 120. Let's assume. Now for me, if I have generated if I generated 2 orders, then definitely I like my invoice ID in that entire data set is actually there for 2 times. Okay, even if I make just 2 orders, so my invoice ID for me, for customer 120, there will be 2 invoice ID. If I make 3 order, then there will be 3 invoice ID. If I make 4 order, then will be 4 invoice ID. So for every customer, for let's say every customer over here with, let's say, any customer ID with, let's say, the first one is 1975, we need to check that how many invoice ID this customer has actually generated. If this customer generated more than let's say one invoice ID, then if this customer is a repeated customer. Okay, because in the frequency score we even we are even if there's a one order also, if there is more than one order also, then also we need to consider them as a repeated customer. Okay, so over here, guys, we already have that column of total customers. That is something we have already created. So what I will do, I first try to make a group, or we first try to make a column for let's say the repeat customers. Okay, from that repeat customer, guys, I actually then make a that function where I need to divide two numbers. But right now I just try to make a repeat customers. Okay, now for repeat customer, and I guess, guys, that this can also be taken inside a measure, maybe, because we are just calculating one single rate over here. Let me check it out. Where is that? Yeah, we have this measure one over here. So let's see that I can try to make a group of repeat customers. Now I have to check uh, count rows. Okay, so count rows, guys, because I want to see the total number of customer, or the total number of unique customers only. And over here, you guys, we also need a filter, because I want to filter out the data of those customers who make a repeated orders, means who have like the order more than one. Now over here, guys, we have to check, let's say that we have to filter out the values based on the customer ID. So we have the customer ID column somewhere. So we have the customer ID column, guys, in both the tables. We can take it from any table over here. So there's a customer. Okay, what is this? Two things over here. I think which one is the ID? Okay, customer ID we have over here. Sorry. So the customer ID, and for each customer ID, now we have to again do the filter. Now I can try to use a calculate, because calculate can also be used for doing the filter. So I want to filter the count. Let's take a distinct count over here. And if this distinct count for a particular customer ID, now, guys, over here we actually make a group with respect to the customer ID. And now we are checking that if for a particular, or any customer ID, if the distinct count of invoice ID is, let's say, greater than 1, is if there's a repeated customer, I can simply call them as a repeat customers. Okay. Now let's make it. Yeah, we got one major over here as a repeat customer. Now, definitely, guys, it's not a part of your column, so it will not come over here. Now, the next thing, guys, I just want to calculate it in a in a in a percentage, or like I want to show it as a percentage, so I can write repeat, let's say the purchase rate. So repeat purchase rate will be nothing but I can try to divide two numbers over here. So divide. So divide, we have to take the repeat customer, which we have created just now, and then it should be divided by the total customers. Okay, so total customer also we have created earlier, and let's say 0. And if I want to show them, guys, in terms of percentage, I can try to multiply it by 100. Even case if I'm not trying to multiply it by 100, I can later on just if I click on that percentage symbol, it will automatically be converted into the percentage. So now let's see, guys, that we have created our like a new let's say we got a new card over here actually. And I think, guys, we don't require this total quantity. I will try to replace it right now. So this total quantity, guys, inside this total quantity, let me try to replace it with the repeat purchase rate. And you can see, guys, that we are getting 1 over here. If I just go ahead and try to convert them into the percentage, so it is 100. I can try to just remove the uh, value after the decimal place. And I can see, guys, that the repeat percent customer, guys, it is coming out to be 100%, which means that definitely your site is doing good, because every customer, guys, okay, if I talk about any of the customer over here, so every customer at least make 2 orders from your website. It means that you just don't have any customer who order let's say anything for let's say for one time and then never like come back to you. Okay, you definitely have like it means that that particular customer at least come back to you for let's say once. Okay, so that's a great thing that our purchase rate is really so if I talk about this purchase rate, let me try to change the title from here, so I can take it as a repeat, or even I can take it as, guys, repeat customer rate, or let's say repeat purchase rate. Okay, and if this is 100%, guys, it means that it is good. Okay, so it simply means, guys, that you have 2000 customer. Out of 2000 customer, guys, every customer, okay, each and every customer, guys, actually get back to you for at least one more time. Okay, so after making one order, it's not happen with any customer that just after making one order he or she actually leave. Okay, so that's really a good thing, guys, over here. Now, guys, the next thing which we want to create is let's say the customer retention rate. Now, guys, how we can calculate that? Because right in this particular data, guys, we don't have that kind of a column. Okay, so earlier, guys, in the previous data set, if I talk about, so we have, guys, that churn yes or no. If you remember, guys, in the previous telecom data, we have that churn yes or no. But if I talk about this data, guys, so we don't have that churn yes or no. Then what do you think? How we can calculate, guys, this customer retention rate? Yeah, guys, anyone? I'm just asking you about that logic, guys, which we can think of for calculating the customer retention rate.
Can we use the recency column?
Which column?
Recency.
Recency, in one way we can let's say, okay, try to use, but what should be the logic behind it, like how we can calculate it? Let's for a timing, let's assume that you don't have recency or anything. How we can calculate it? Because we don't have any such column where we have the churn yes or no. Then on what basis, if I still want to calculate the customer retention rate, then what basis I can try to calculate it? Okay, so in that case, guys, let's say if you don't have any like a prior information about the customer churn or the customer retain, let's say this is like a new website which is started and you don't have like any prior information of customer churn or like a retention. So what we can do, guys, then we can try to calculate it in terms of let's say the month or something like that. Okay, because as one like maybe a very simple idea which Lakshmi you shared that based on the recency. So recency means let's say so in terms of like not exactly in the number of days, but in terms of in that particular logic by taking the month, we can try to calculate that customer retention rate. Okay. So over here, guys, we can try to like let's say our data set over here is a kind of a transactional data. So we can try to calculate the retained customer based on, let's say, the repeat activity across all periods. So when I say period, guys, so across all, let's say the month or something. Okay. So what we can consider over here, what for a customer retained like a rate or for customer retention, what the consideration we can try to take over here is that a customer can be considered as retained if there's a purchase in the last month also, and then if there's a purchase in the current month also. Okay, means if there's any customer who make the purchase within that 30 days of cycle. Okay, so that I can consider as one period. So if within that 30 days of cycle, if customer is actually purchasing an item, means he's not stopped let's say the buying an item, if the customer is not stopped buying like raising an invoice or raising an order, then I can consider that customer that yes, you are able to retain them. Okay, so instead of talking in terms of exactly that one score of recency, we can talk about it that like we can talk about that period. Okay, so if the customer make an order in the previous month also, and then again in a current month, we can consider it as a retained customer. So for that, guys, let's see that what we can try to do over here. So over here, guys, into our data set, we have this date table, and into the date table, guys, there's a column called month. Let me just try to open this date table over here. So into this date table, guys, there's a month we have. Okay, and we have a date, but we have a month, but I think guys we actually require two things, year and month together. Means let's say month, year, month in a way like 2025 July, 2026 May, in that way. So even guys this is let's say a simple thing which can also be created. Let's see into the column. So we can try to create, guys, a column over here called, let's say, the year month. Try to create it, year and month. We can try to bring these two things together. I can try to use a function called format. Now over here, guys, I can simply pass my invoice date over here. So transaction of the invoice date. And I think is now, since I think in the last session itself, we have already converted them into the correct format. So there's no problem. So there will be year y, 4 times y, and then for month, it will be 2 times m. But I guess that I'm just hoping that this should not give me any error because there's a month name written over there. Let's see. Okay, got it. So it is correct. We got the year month over here for 2026, for 2025, and so on. Now we can try to create, guys, the previous month customers measure. So we can go into the now instead of guys creating this column over here, I can have the let's go into the table tools and let's try to create a new measure over here. Now, what all the things we require? So I actually require two calculation guys over here. So the first calculation is regarding, let's say, the previous month customer. So we can try to simply write it as let's say, one second, guys. By any reason, just give me 1 minute, guys. Just hanging up a bit. Okay, so now go into the new measure, and over here inside a new measure, what we can do, we can try to calculate, let's say, the previous month customers. Okay, and for this, guys, we can again use the calculate function, and we can try to check, guys. So we can try to take a distinct count of the customer who make a order in the previous month. Okay, so transaction, and we can take the customer ID. Okay, so distinct count of customer ID, especially the customer who made, let's say, the order in a previous month. So I think, guys, created this. Uh, okay, so now, guys, we can try to go in a previous month with the function directly, guys, over here as a previous month, and we can go in a table. Where is my date table? Yeah, and we can take the date. Now I can close it. So we got, guys, the previous month customer means the customer who made any shopping in a previous month, means the customer who made any like a purchase or order in a previous month. And similarly, guys, we can in a similar way we can try to make it for the current month customer. Sorry, current month customer. Again, just go in a new measure and try to create it for the current month. So we'll try to create current month customers. And for the current month, guys, it is a bit simple. Like we can simply take the distinct count of, let's say, the customer ID. Where is my customer ID? Okay, so this is all we have now, guys. Over here, we need retained customer. So in the retained customer, guys, we have to check that we need to do the matching, guys. Okay, so let's say in the current month customer, there may be let's say 20 customers we have who made shopping or who made any order in the current month. Okay, and with definitely, guys, with the different IDs. Now, guys, we have some like a customer who made the order, who made some order or maybe purchase in the previous month. Okay, now we try to see the, guys, common IDs in both the cases, like the IDs which are actually common in both the month. Okay, so let's say, guys, that there are 20 common. Okay, so out of let's say 2000, you can say that customer. Let's say, guys, that there are out of 2000, 1500 common IDs we got. Okay, so there are 1500 IDs who made any order in the current month also, and who made the order even in the previous month. Now, in that way, guys, the retained customer like a percentage will be nothing but again it will be 75%. Or let's say if there are 1600 common IDs, then it will be 80% as the customer retention rate. Okay, so I hope, guys, you got my point. So if you think, guys, about this particular calculation, so this calculation will simply gives you, guys, the output of this calculation will be simple, that is 2000. Now, what we are checking that how many IDs are actually there, how many IDs are actually repeated or actually same in the previous month also. Okay, so we have created this previous month customer data, Now we are going to check that how many like IDs are actually same in this current month and as well as in the previous month. Okay, so this number is total to 2000. Now let's say in the previous month also, so if the common numbers are actually coming out to be 1600, then the retention rate will be 80%. Okay, so it means guys that it is guys similar to if you learn something called as a set in the mathematics. Okay, so we actually in our childhood guys we learn something called as a set, if you remember about it. So let's say if there's a set A and set B, and if I want to get the common like from both the sets. Okay, so in that case guys, what we are doing over there, we're trying to perform something called as a intersection. Okay, we call that particular concept or that particular formula, we call it as an intersection. Okay, so the same thing guys happening over here. There's a one set where we have a set of like current customer, means who made a order in the current month. Then we have a another set where we have a data of the customer who made the order in the previous like a month. Let's say set A and set B. We want to find out that common like a customer who we want to find out the data of those customers or the number of those customers who are actually common in both the sets, who are actually a part of a set A also and even the part of a set B also. Okay, I hope guys you got this point. So over here guys in the Power BI also, in order to calculate that let's say the common like customer IDs, we are using the same function over here called intersect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm first trying to calculate that retained customers. I'm going to first try to get the list or the numbers of retained customers. I will use this function called count like rows. Okay, then we'll use the function guys called intersect. Okay, now guys where I want to apply this intersect. Now over here guys I can try to use the function called values. Now I need to guys again this intersection guys will be based on this customer ID. Now the customer ID over here in this like a group, and then we'll calculate guys the table over here. And then guys we try to see the we'll try to see the customer ID, which is again which is actually who are actually a part of the previous month purchase as well. So again we'll take the customer ID, and we'll actually trying to show here that these customer ID are from the previous month. Okay, so we have already created this previous month like a customer. Okay, so either I can directly try to take it, or even you can simply try to apply the same on date table. Date, I can say. Now close it. And I think two more brackets are there. We can close it. Okay, I think let's see guys. So after values, after intersect, after count rows. Okay, so count rows, there's a bracket, intersect, there's a bracket, then values, there's a bracket, this bracket is closed over here. Then calculate table, the bracket is actually open, then it is like closed over here. Then previous one, this bracket is open and it is closed over here. So I think what are the brackets which are left? So I think that this calculate table bracket is left. So okay, this is closed. Then we have one more. Okay, one more bracket is left, I guess. Now this is a list of the retained customers. Now we want to calculate in terms of percentage. So again, guys, we need to divide this like a retained customer with that previous month customer. Okay, so let's say this retained customer list. Okay, now guys, this is nothing but is going to be the in that intersection, guys. We are going to check that how many customers are actually belonging in like inside that like intersection. Okay, so let me show you also guys this with the diagram. So intersection. Yeah, so this is what guys we have created over here. This is what I am actually talking about. I hope that you guys are very much familiar with let's say this particular like a logic. Yeah. So this is what guys actually I'm actually talking about. Okay. So over here you can see that like let's say set A we have where we have a group of like a current customer. Then set C we have a group of previous customers. Now this is what guys we have calculated right now. That is of like inside that retained customer. So we have the number of customer belonging in both the groups. Now, guys, this number I need to divide it by let's say the previous month customer to get that retention rate. Okay, to get that customer retention rate. Now, what we'll do over here, we'll again try to create a new measure, and inside this new measure, guys, we'll write it as customer retention rate. Let's see. So we'll write customer retention rate. Now over here guys, we'll use a function called divide. We'll use this retained customers. Take a comma. We'll take previous month customers. Again, we'll take a comma and make it 0. And either guys over here itself, you can try to multiply it by 0, or you can click on that percentage to convert that into the percentage. Now what I will do, I will simply take like click on this, create a copy of this. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. You can definitely try to do something later on with that space or the adjustment. Now over here, guys, inside this, what I want that customer retention rate value, which is like over here. I can simply try to remove it and try to bring this customer retention rate. Okay, so customer retention rate, we are not getting anything. See details. I think is just fail to move the data reader to the next row. Please check the technical details. Query user error, calculation error in the measure. Okay. Okay, remove it from here. Let's see, guys. We have one more thing that is retain customer. Let me check whether this is working or not. Okay, this is also not working. It means that there is. Okay, let me see the previous month customers. Okay, this is also not working. Uh, okay. So retained customer. Okay, so I think the problem is there in that we have to check from the very starting, which is a previous month customers. Now the previous month customers, guys, it is coming out to be uh, what we have done. Use the calculate function over here. We'll take the distinct count of the customer ID. And then we'll use a function simply over here to take the date from the date table. Or let's say if I'm not doing this, instead of taking it from the date table, let's say if I try to go in a transaction and I have just created one column as year month. Let's say if I try to take it from there. Let's see if there is improvement. Where is previous month customers? Okay, If I try to take the retained customers, no, not at all. Okay, so what is then happening over here? Uh, this is fine. Even in the date table of date, okay, this is not in the correct format. Okay, but I think then I have that year month that should work then. Once again, guys, I think one column we have created over here, which is year month. Where is that? Into the transaction table. So we have created this column as year month. Let's see that inside this previous month customer, if so this should work if let's say the last one is not working. Uh, because I can see guys that the date format is not correct. Let's say if I talk about now the retained customer, now over here also I can try to change it to the transaction, or even we can try to correct that also, but let me check it. This is what I have converted this into the year month itself. Or maybe guys it is I think okay, where is that year month? So now this should work. Let's see. Okay guys, so let's do one thing. Let's go in a transform data, and just like we have done it for the transaction table, the invoice date, guys, we try to convert them into the uh, like a date, like a column. In a similar way, guys, let's try to see that same thing is possible with the date table also, because in the date table, the date value is actually given in this format, which is not correct. So let's see that if I try to simply convert them into the date format, uh, yeah, replace current, and you can see here that it is successfully converted without, let's say, any hassle, no error, no empty value. Now again, close and apply. Now let's see, guys, if it will work. Okay, it is taking some time. Fine. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay. So now, guys, we can definitely see that like it will work. So let me go into that previous month customer, and let me try to apply that formula over here. So there's a date table, I guess. We have date table, and from the date table, I can pass the date. Okay. So date table of date, I can pass it over here. That's fine. Working on it. Great. Now let's see that retained customers over here. So again, in that retained customers at the bottom, I guess we are using this. So let me replace it again with that date table of date. Okay, now let's run it. We are working on it. Okay, this is fine. Now, finally, guys, we have that customer retention rate. Hmm. Okay, now let's see whether now it is working. Yeah. So we got that retained customer, and now if I try to put that customer retention rate over here. Where is that? If I try to bring it over here, so again guys, it is also 100%. So yeah guys, that we have a kind of a data set where we have that customer, we have a kind of a customer guys, where I can see that that customers are definitely repeated. Okay, means we have a customer who made any order in the last week, and then that same customer guys made an order in this week as well. Okay. Because our retention rate guys is actually on that basis only, so we are checking that if any customer made an order in a frequent like a month, or in a in a continuous month, then I am considering that as a repeated customer, or I am considering them as a like a retained customer. And over here guys, you can see that this particular thing till now for this data set guys, it is actually working. We got the 100% as a repeat rate, and we got 100% as a retention rate. Okay, is it clear guys, both the formulas to everyone? Just we need to change this title over here. Instead of this repeat purchase rate, I can take it as retention rate. Yeah, guys, everything is like clear so far, like whatever we have discussed to everyone. Yeah, guys, any doubt? Yeah, guys, any doubt, any question to anyone? Okay, definitely, guys. I will upload this into your like a drive. You can try to take it from there. Those who have not, let's say, write the formula along with me, you can write it and try to create like the report like around it. Okay, because guys, definitely this is going to be one like a really good like a project, a really realistic one, and for a real world scenario, and you guys can definitely utilize it for your resume or anything. Okay, now guys, and I told you that this report page definitely require more of like a pages, because whatever the discussions guys we have done, whatever the segmentation we have created, even guys, those segmentation should also be considered over here. You know, we need to understand that let's say how much loyal customers we have, how much like in a different groups guys. So I think six different groups we have created. So in every group guys, we need to check that how many customers are actually belonging to each group, and so far and other things. Okay, so what we'll do guys, let's say in the first page I have taken some KPIs. Let's say six important KPIs we have taken on the first page. Now on the same page guys, it is important to even add some of the important charts. Okay, so now guys, we got the six KPIs. Now let's start putting the charts over here on the very first like a page. Now let's see guys that on the first page, what are all the charts we can try to create. Okay, now let's say guys that as a form of like as a form of I'm running this, let's say this organization or this startup, and I'm running it from, let's say, last 2 or 3 years. I definitely want to understand that uh, how the trend is going on. Okay, so whether year by year my revenue or my sales are actually increasing, or whether year by year whether it is decreasing, or maybe in it is actually having an increasing trend, but I may have let's say in maybe any particular year there's maybe some loss or something. Okay, so if I want to analyze that trend, what we can do, we can try to see, we can try to take guys any line chart, or let's say the area chart. Now by this time guys, you are definitely aware of this particular thing, that which chart is required over here. We can take even the line chart or the area chart to see that how the trend is going on. Okay, so year by year, whether you are making more revenues or whether that revenue is actually going down. Okay, So I can take this line chart over here, trying to let's try to increase the size. And for this chart, guys, let's see that what are those two columns. I can try to take it over here. So I can try to let's say take on the x-axis, there should be the year. Now guys, you have that year into the date table also, you have that year into the invoice date also. So you can, even if you want, you can directly take the year from here into the date table. And then total sales, guys, is already there into the transaction table. Even guys, you have calculated the measure also as total revenue. Okay, so anything guys, you can try to check it over here. So let's say the total sales on the y-axis. So, uh, okay, it is giving me one single cell value, which is not possible. Okay, let me check, guys. There is a total into the customer. Maybe we have created this. Okay, so then this is a really different kind of a data set where across different year. Let me just confirm this once from this chart. Okay. No, yeah. So you can see guys that I think into the year there's some problem. Now with this chart, guys, you can see that what is happening year by year. So in 2024 means the business started in 2024, and in 2024, guys, you can see that how much sales has been done in that particular year. It is around 2 million of like of total revenue has been generated in 2024. Then in 2025, guys, you can see guys that there's an upward trend, means you are like year by year, guys, definitely your business is actually there's an improvement over there. So you can see guys that in 2025 that sales actually becomes more than you can say guys that 35 million. Okay, so around 37 million of like sales has been done in 2025. And since guys in 2026 we don't have the entire data, like definitely guys, half of the year is still left. Even more than half of the year is still left. So in 2026, guys, till now there's a sell of around 14 million. Okay, and definitely guys, even if I just try to make a double of this, or if I'm able to make definitely guys not double, because we have more than half of the year left. So it may definitely reaches to around 35 million or maybe more than that. Okay, it means guys that there's a upward trend which we can observe throughout like in terms of year, if I talk about. So there's a upward trend. Okay, like year by year the revenue, or I can say the sales, are actually growing up. Okay, even guys, if I want to bring into this chart, if I want to make it more informative, it is possible guys that along with the year you can also try to consider let's say the month as well. Okay, so you can see that guys, if I just remove the j, we have the a month and quarter over here. And even if you want to remove the quarter or month, okay, so anything guys, you can try to consider it over here. You can like have the month over here, guys. Okay, so then for a different month, guys, you can see that you can try to analyze it. Okay, so the total revenue in 2024 August, then the total revenue in September, October. Okay, then there's a Jan 2025, and you can see guys that when it goes up, when it goes down, for different let's say the month. Okay, you can even try to convert them into the area chart. And again, guys, as I told you earlier, that a lot of formatting can be done over here. So you can see, guys, that these are data labels which you can try to make it on, which is right now off. If you try to make it on, guys, you are getting that numbers over here. Definitely these numbers, if it is not visible, you think that the numbers are not visible over there, you can definitely try to, guys, let's say make it a bit bold, and even if you try it, if you want, you can increase the size. Okay, so you'll get guys that you'll see that what is happening over here. So by even guys, by now that default unit is actually automatically it is in a million. But let's say in your case or in any time guys, if you're getting it in let's say in thousand or maybe that long sequence of number, you can actually change it into a million or billion. Okay, let's say, because definitely then it will be easier like for anyone to read or to understand. Okay, now over here guys, into the title, you can even try to change it. So total revenue, let's say by, I can say that by year. Okay, and we can try to bring it into the middle. And again guys, it is important that we should have a similar kind of the color combination and all. So whatever the color I have taken maybe earlier, I try to take the similar color over here, make it let's say bold, increase the size, and that's all guys we have. The On the x and y axis guys, if I think that maybe that titles are not required over here, because if someone looks into the title guys, that total revenue by year, anyone can understand that okay, what is maybe there on to x and y axis, and the numbers are visible guys. So even on the y axis, the values which you are getting or the title which you are getting is not required, you can get rid of it. On the x-axis, guys, definitely you probably require the value, but not the title. So you can try to just make this value a bit bold so that it should be visible, and you can off the title from there also. Apart from that guys, again since as I told you that all these like things should looks similar. Okay, so even you can try to check guys if there's a shed area or something, wherever guys you have this option of let's say the color. So you can see guys that we have like a different color options over here. You can just try to think that if it is, if it can be like a different or something. Okay, so you can, I think that with this it is not like there. What I can do, let's see that in terms of year only, let's say I can go into the format and I can look after guys, let's say into the line or somewhere. So line style is there, and yeah, it is blue color guys. So if I want to similar to my like a theme, so I can change it to I can try to make it similar to my theme. Okay, so you can see guys that how your how the sales are actually going how the sales are actually trending guys, or how the trend with respect to the different year the sales are going on. So you can see guys that in the first year, means when you have started, you make the sales of 23 million, then the sales are actually goes up, you make the sales of like 37 million. And in the 2026 till now, like in let's say 5.5 month, the total sales which you have made is around 14 million. Now still guys, 7.5 months are left, and we can expect that this sale will definitely make more sales in the by the end of this year. Okay, now in a similar way guys, different charts can be added, which gives you right now guys, we are trying to add the charts which gives you the basic information, like what the inside there is already there into the data set. Okay, so in that case guys, we can try to add the another chart where I can try to add let's say the donut chart over here, corresponding to this like a trending cells. Now inside this guys, I can try to analyze the revenue again with respect to the different segment. Okay, so you can see guys that there's a different segment of the customer or the segment guys which we have created just now. So based on that segment, or let's say based on the category, if we want to see that which category gives you the maximum sales or which category gives you the least sell and all. Because guys, you can see that you have different columns over here, you don't just have one or two columns. Sorry, you have different tables over here. So now you can see guys that if I talk about it, so yeah, there are definitely guys a lot of categories in which you are dealing in. And if I try to talk about guys this categories over here, you can see guys that from which category you are generating the maximum revenue. Okay, so you can see guys that I think 22.3% of the revenue is actually coming from the sports category. Okay, and if I want to have guys all these details at the one single place, you know guys that I can try to change this accordingly. I can remove the legends. Okay, so in that case guys, you can see now the maximum revenue is actually you are generating from the sports category, followed by the beauty category, which is generating 19.6% of your total revenue. Then followed by the fashion category, which generating 17.03% of the total revenue. Then we have groceries, which generating 14.5% of the total revenue. Then electronic category, which generating 13.78% of the total revenue. And finally, guys, there's a home and kitchen appliances, which is generating 12.63% of the total revenue. So you got to know, guys, two things over here, that how many different categories are there in which like the company is actually dealing in. And then you can see guys that which is the let's say the highest highest selling category we have over here. Okay, now in a similar way guys, at the end to this particular report, you can try to even add the map chart. Now this map chart guys, you can try to even just like you have analyzed two things over here, you can even try to analyze guys the reason wise sales. Okay, because again guys, if you are running any business, it is important to understand that from which reason you are getting probably more sales, and from which reason you are probably not getting the sales at all. And then you trying to re-stabilize your marketing strategies according to that like a scenario. Okay, so over here guys, we can try to understand the same thing, like the reason wise like a sales or the reason wise revenue. So you can see guys that there's a reason column we have over here. And you can also check guys that there's a country, there's a city. Okay, so either guys, because if I talk about a reason, if I just try to go into this I think in the transaction table, we have the city, region, and country. And the reason, guys, you can see that we have north, east, south, west. Now, this doesn't gives you any idea. This entire data, guys, belonging to one country, India. So I can now, guys, try to focus on the city because we don't have a state. So and guys, if you have a state, then it is fine. We can see the state. But guys, since the state is not there, then I can try to analyze this thing with the city. So I will take the city over here into the location. And again, guys, the total revenue we can try to take into the okay, I think we got the uh, okay, I think latitude, longitude. Yeah, I think this is the correct map we have. So the total revenue, guys, we can try to take into the bubble size. So definitely the reason or the city which gives you the more revenue, for them guys, the bubble size will be a bit higher. Otherwise, it is let's say low. Okay, if you want to add a bit of more variety into this particular like a chart, guys, let's say a bit more information you want from the same chart, you can try to add anything guys into the legend. Okay, so I think the reason can be added, but it's quite visible that okay, like from which reason these things are coming from. Okay, so there's no need of adding that particular thing over here. What we can do, we can simply try to use the format painter, apply it over here. And then guys, this chart can also be analyzed. Okay, now guys, even the same thing guys with the bubble, I think as I already told you that this actually depends on you, that if you want to increase or decrease the bubble size. And this bubble color guys will be again similar to our theme. Okay, Now guys, you can see that if you want to see the cities over here, it is fine. The numbers are not coming, so the category labels you can try to on it, and you can try to make it a bit bold. Okay, then it will be clearly visible, and I don't want any other thing over here, guys. Now, if I talk about it, so you can see, guys, that yeah, these are the main cities, guys. I think where we are getting the revenue, and you can see, guys, that from which city you are getting, let's say, the more revenue and all. Okay, so I think there's a Kolkata, and you can see, guys, that what kind of a revenue coming from this particular like a city. So it is, I think, if I am not like wrong, if I am able to read it correctly, it is around 99 lakh. Then we have Delhi. So from every city, guys, I think we are getting somewhat a similar kind of sales. Um, Even guys, if you want to show them with the different colors, so there's an option for you. You can definitely try to show, let's say, Ahmedabad with a different color, Pune with a different color, Delhi with a different color. So all these things, guys, if you want, you can try to show them in a different color. Okay. Then there's a map option also. So if you want to make it a bit darker, you can actually do that. So if you make it darker, guys, because there are so many cities, so these white color will be clearly visible. Okay, even I think in a gray or ideal way also it is visible. No, I think gray it is bit more different. Yeah, I think the dark theme is good. Okay, so it's up to you guys. You can try to think of it. Uh, okay, I think. Yeah, you can see, guys, that I just try to change the size based on the data range. Okay, so means you can see, guys, that in that case, the Ahmedabad having the biggest bubble, it means that the maximum cell are actually coming from the Ahmedabad. And even guys, this color is bit faded over here. So if you want, you can try to let's say take some other color also, make it, or you can even try to make it a bit more darker. Okay, so I think even with a bit more darker, it is not visible. Then you can just check it with the some other like a visual, guys. I think let's then take a grayscale now back into the report. Yeah, so you can see, guys, that now the bubble size actually changes according to the state or according to the city. The city with the maximum cell, guys, is actually having the biggest bubble. You can see that Ahmedabad having this bubble size for Ahmedabad is actually biggest. It means, guys, that the more cells are actually coming from the Ahmedabad. Whereas, guys, if I talk about the city with the least revenue, so that is probably this one, Chennai. Okay, so Chennai is actually the like a city from least revenue is actually coming in. Okay, so in this way, guys, you can try to make your arrangement. And now again, guys, this report is definitely very useful for your client, because now by looking into this chart and by looking into the numbers, your client can make the first impression about this data set, the first impression about this about like how his business is actually going on. Okay, is it clear, guys? I think to everyone, whatever the steps we have taken so far. Any doubt, guys, or any question to anyone till this part? Okay, so I will save it, guys, as Power BI Day-12 like a file, and I will upload, guys, the same thing into the drive. Please make sure, guys, that go inside a drive, just try to refresh it, take this file, and try to, guys, create some visual by yourself. Let's see that at what extent, okay, up to what extent you are able to think, you are able to let's say make a changes. And any like a thing, guys, any new even the column, if you are thinking of, you can definitely try it out. Okay, so yeah, guys, it is now up to you, because I think the last three sessions are only left.
So if you are able to make it a bit more let's say interactive. So I think that this is the only way you can make it more interactive. Okay, so just make sure, guys, that just try to go through the file. Try to. I think, guys, maximum work has already been done. You can just try to download it. You already have a data set, and you can simply try to create a few charts. Uh, like uh, Based on your whatever the knowledge we have gathered so far. Based on that, you can try to create some a charts. You can try to think of some charts, and if you come, guys, with that discussions, then definitely, guys, it will be great for you. Okay. So fine, guys. I think that's all for today. I hope that you really enjoyed today's session, as it comes with a lot of interactive ideas and information. We'll continue, guys, from wherever we have left today. We'll continue from there itself. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Good night.